These are the top 5 things you must do with your dog every day in order to live a happy, healthy, fun life with your dog. If this sounds like a relationship you want to have, well, make sure you watch all 5 of them. They're really helpful. We'll see you in the video. The first thing that you should be working with your dog every day on is loose leash walking. I talk about this all the time with owners, and in fact, the vast majority of dogs in this world do not know how to loose leash walk, which is a problem. And so start teaching your dog how to loose leash walk. I have a ton of videos on YouTube, but loose leash walking is a relationship builder and a exercise for your dog to start paying a lot more attention to you when you're on a walk. Oftentimes owners take their dogs on a couple walks a day and that's their dog's exercise, when walks really aren't exercise. What we should be doing is having our dog focused on us for the vast majority of the walk, really structured, leading our dogs being the leader of the pack, and showing our dogs, you pay attention to us, great things happen. When people don't teach their dog loose leash walking early on, it often creates issues, really serious issues, like reactivity, aggression, anxiety, because we're not guiding our dogs and showing them this is what you need to do. We need to make the rules of the game very clear. When we're on a leash, we are either heeling or loose leash walking. Loose leash walking is easy, something that everyone can do. I'd highly encourage you, teach your dog how to loose leash walk and practice it every day, every walk. Your dog will start looking up to you so much more. So I just mentioned that the walk should be focused on you, but when do you let your dog be a dog? Well, number 2 is allow your dog to be a dog and run around off leash. Play with other dogs, play fetch, whatever your dog enjoys, allow your dog to do that. And that is going to give them so much more fulfillment and happiness in their life than just walks being exercise. When we let our dog off leash, it's not just about unclipping the leash and letting them run around free. We should be practicing some structured play exercises, practicing mixing in some obedience into this outdoor activity recall, and practicing these activities in environments that are high distraction. If we can do obedience in these environments, if our dog can respond to our commands in these environments, well, our dog is going to be able to do anything and everything that we want them to do, and we are going to be able to bring our dog new places, but they have to have fulfillment in their life with the trust and the bond of we know that we can always communicate with our dog to get them back. So I'd highly encourage you, when you're letting your dog off leash play around, if it's fetch, that's something that a lot of dogs like to play with, you know, fetch or throwing a ball or a toy, make it structured, make them sit and stay, make them practice all of their repertoire of the commands that they do know, because the more you practice it, the better off they're gonna be. So give your dog fulfillment and allow them to run around, be off leash, and be a dog. So I just talked a little bit about structured play and keeping some more structure in our relationship with our dog. That feeds us into number 3, which is make our dogs earn everything that they get. All of their rewards, they should be earning. We should not just be walking up to our dog and handing them a treat for being a dog. That is going to get our dog to start doing some undesired behaviors frequently, and that's something that I see all the time with dogs. What we should be doing is, during a dog's mealtime, this is a perfect time to start working with our dog. Ask for sits and downs and stays and place and whatever commands you want your dog to know, but shape the commands with the dog's food. Sometimes it might be 20 seconds of a sit down, stay, and then they get to eat. Sometimes we're gonna be hand feeding our dog their kibble or whatever type of food they eat. It's something really important for a dog to work on. When a dog earns their reward, it changes the whole dynamic of our relationship with our dog, and our dog starts looking up to us so much more on what am I gonna get? What do my owners want me to do? What does mom, what does dad want me to do in this situation? And your dog, you will see, if you work on this, your dog will start to look up to you significantly more in all different environments and situations. If your dog is a dog that likes to play with a toy, play fetch with a ball or tug or whatever, make that structure. Don't just mindlessly go to a field and throw the ball and throw the ball and throw the ball. That's physical exercise, but there's no mental exercise. We should be asking our dog to sit and then we throw the ball. A stay, if you want to get advanced, a stay, throw the ball, and then release. You can build up to these things, but building that relationship up and not just handing our dog all of these rewards for free is going to change our dynamic and in turn make our dog significantly happier and more structured. Moving right along into the fourth thing that you should be working with your dog on every day, and that is proper greetings. You should be setting the tone every time you walk in the house. How do we greet people? Is it exciting or is it calm? Your dog is going to follow your behaviors. If you walk inside every day very calm, not overly excited, your dog is going to mirror that behavior. If every time you walk in your front door, home from work or school or wherever you are, and you are going crazy and super excited, well, every time someone walks in your house, your dog is going to act that same way. They're going to mirror your behavior. So let's start working on greetings now with ourselves as owners and our families, and then we can start working on it with other people. But it does not matter who it is. Our dog needs to understand proper greetings. It doesn't matter if your dog is 5 or 10 pounds or 150 pounds. It's dangerous. It can be a dangerous situation if your dog jumps or, gets overly excited when people walk in the door. You never know, right? Even a small dog can tackle a toddler and can really hurt someone. Really, we just need to save ourselves the embarrassment of our dog jumping on every person and becoming overly excited by setting the tone with ourselves, then expanding out to other people. It's really important. If your dog knows that, your dog will be one of those dogs that people walk in the house and say, oh my gosh, your dog is so well behaved, and everyone wants to have a dog like that. The last and final tip for you guys is crate training your dog. Sorry to interrupt your video. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about these bad boys, Impact Dog Crates. I train a ton of dogs and I have a ton of dogs in crates. A crate should be your dog's safe space, and Impact Crate does that. They are made of high-grade aluminum, made in America. They are really easy to move around. Your crate is essentially your dog's home, so why not go a little bit above and beyond and get your dog a very nice home? At checkout, use code Ethan15 or use the link in the description below to get your Impact Crate today. Now back to your video. I'm a firm believer that every single dog should be crate trained. If you can crate train your dog from a young age, awesome. If your dog is older, they should still be crate trained. Your dog does not necessarily need to live in a crate their entire life in their house, but there are times where you have to go out of town and you have to give your dog to a friend or send your dog to a boarding facility. And if your dog is already crate trained and knows that the crate is a safe space for them, your dog is going to be a lot less stressed in those situations. Your dog is crate trained, they can adapt to a different lifestyle a lot easier than if they were not crate trained. When we are crate training a dog and they are a puppy, oftentimes it's a safety thing, right? Our puppies can get into stuff that we don't want them to chew up. It can be dangerous for them. It can be dangerous for our belongings. Nothing good happens out of that. So that's why we start crate training a dog, but then it starts to be shape into a dog's home, right? Their crate is where they eat, where they sleep. And if you can show your dog that their crate is their safe place, the world is your oyster. You can bring your dog to any place. You can go on vacation with your dog and always know your dog is going into their crate and they are safe and they are happy. I have a little example for you guys. Kona, my older dog, she has lived in a crate her whole life, pretty much slept in a crate all the time. And I know a lot of owners like to have their dog sleep with them, which is okay, but we have done so well with crate training that her crate is essentially her bedroom. And a couple months ago, I was like, Kona, you're gonna sleep with me tonight. She went downstairs, slept in my room. Within an hour, she walked herself upstairs, put herself in her crate, because it is her home and it is her safe place. And so if you can create that environment for your dog, not saying you need to do that every day, but a crate is a really safe space, so make that environment for your dog and they will thank you for it. I hope you guys are able to apply all of these tips into your day-to-day life. I promise you it will change your relationship and dynamic with your dog. If you want to see a link to any of the training videos I've talked about, I'll link them in the description below. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.